Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome back to the Owl Read. Today I have my October wrap-up for you. I usually do weekly wrap-ups, but October has been such a crazy month. I just have not had time at all to film any of them. I was gone most weekends in Orlando or at a book convention, or I was really busy organizing the Young Adult BookTube Awards, which was announced this month, and just made me so excited. If you guys have not heard of the Young Adult BookTube Awards, I will link them. I will link all the information down below with my announcement video and where you can go to vote or win any of the 10 giveaways. Check all of the links down below if you need any more information. I remember now why I do weekly wrap-ups. I hardly remember anything I read from the beginning of the month. The first book was Crown of Midnight. I know that I really enjoyed this. I know that I did not enjoy it as much as the first one, I think because it's like waning interest a little bit. Although the ending was very shocking. I wasn't expecting that really at all. I feel like this book kind of just was a bunch of little plot points to kind of get to the ending. So I really don't feel like everything that happened in this book needed to be one book. The ending of this book was chosen, I feel like, because of the shock factor of it and how surprising it was. I also have a lot of questions, like, did Selena know this before, like, we found out as readers? Like, I'm just kind of confused. I did end up giving this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really like the writing. Sarah J. Maas, I think, is a really great writer and storyteller. I just think that in order to make this series as many books as she wants it to be, she had to kind of, like, drag all of these events out. But maybe the events in here are in there for a reason, and I just don't know about it until later books in the series. I'm not sure. I did enjoy it. I am going to go on to the next book in the series, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. Next, I read Ice Like Fire by Sarah Raj. Again, I think this book suffers from second book syndrome or sequel syndrome. It's just, I feel like a lot of the events in here were unnecessary, or they're building for the end of, or the last book in the series, or the next book in the series. I liked it. I just wanted to like it more. I just didn't feel like it was as interesting as the first one. I am going to move on to the third one because I want to finish off this series and just get it over with. If you didn't know, Snow Like Ash is the first book in this series. It follows our main character, who is a refugee when her kingdom gets taken over by a neighboring kingdom, and it's 16 years later. They're still kind of running for their lives, but one of the people who are in this refugee group is the king of the kingdom, and they're kind of just trying to win back their country and take back what was taken from them 16 years ago. But the king and our main character were both infants when the invasion happened, so they don't really remember, and they kind of been refugees for their whole lives. But the adults in the group are inspiring them to take back their country and, you know, for the king to take back his throne. And the first one was really enjoyable. There's magic, and it's interesting and intriguing, and I just really liked the idea of the book in general. This one, second book syndrome, unfortunately. I'm really excited for the third one and to find out how this series wraps up, but I just didn't think it was interesting as the first one. Three Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake was an extremely enjoyable read. It was very imaginative, and the words are very descriptive, which I really enjoyed. I like really descriptive books so that I can use my imagination to kind of picture what the author is trying to make you see, and I really enjoyed that about this novel. If you don't know the synopsis, this is about three sisters who have to kill each other in order to become a queen. Basically, all three of them have magical powers. One is a naturalist, one can control the elements, and the other one is a poisoner, which means she can eat poisons and not be affected. The point of view in this book switches between the three queens, and there are moments where like the energy kind of lulls in the book and before it switches on to the next queen, and so those parts kind of got me a little bored. But overall, it was a very exciting book. I did guess the ending like way early on, which was kind of unfortunate, but again, I do think this has really great imagery, really great descriptions, a great story. There were definitely some downfalls of it, but I ended up giving it a 4 to 5 stars. So for me personally, I don't think that those negatives affected everything that was positive about the story. Next, I read City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. This is the third book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I'm reading this because I kind of want to get to the Infernal Devices series trilogy. And a lot of people have been telling me, well, you don't have to read the first three or the first Mortal Instruments in order to read the Infernal Devices, and I get that. I just really want to be completely knowledgeable about the world before I move on to that trilogy. So I'm kind of like suffering through these first 5 books, and I know a lot of people love this series, guys, and I'm not saying anything negative towards you. Last time I said something negative about the Mortal Instruments series, I lost like 10 subscribers, which is kind of ridiculous. But, you know, it's not a bad series, it's just not for me. Like, the whole Clary and Jace thing really creeps me out. Like, that's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. And I'm really, really suffering through these books. I mean, I think that the writing is decent and the idea of the story is decent. Just the little plot points like Clary and Jace and Simon, what's going on with him, and I'm just not a fan. So yeah, but I am going to finish the series because I've already started it and I need to complete it and just get it done and over with. But I'm definitely not a fan, but I really am convinced that I'm going to like the Infernal Devices a lot more because it's set, you know, in the past, and I'm a really big history buff, and a lot of people have said that that series is a lot better than this one. So that's why I'm suffering through it, to the light at the end of the tunnel, which is the Infernal Devices. Then I picked up Gemina by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman, and this was fantastic, you guys. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was interesting, and it kept my attention, and it was intriguing, and the ending was just mind-blowing, and I was just shocked and every single turn. Like, if you guys have read Illuminae, you know how shocking, like, the ending is, and the twists, because there's more than one of them, is really, really good. And the same thing goes for Gemina. Like, Kaufman and Kristoff are just geniuses at really blowing your mind. It's just amazing. This book follows 2 different characters than Illuminae, but it's still about the same incident, which is this company called Bitech did an attack on this planet for mining purposes, I believe, to make money, regardless of, you know, what specifically they did to, or what specifically they were going after. But it's still about Bitech trying to cover their ass about the attack that they did on this mining planet, and even though it follows two separate characters, it's really, really good. And the 2 characters from the first novel come in at the end, and it's so good, you guys. This series, Illuminae and Gemina, are fan-freaking-tastic, and I love it. I am currently reading The Wrath from the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, and I'm really loving this book. What page am I on? I am on, oh, I have it upside down. I am on page, oh no, did I lose my page? No, it's on 206 of about, oh, there's a glossary in the back. Sweet, I had no idea. So 206 out of 388. So I'm a little over halfway done, and I'm enjoying this. The characters, I'm loving. I told myself when this began, because I knew that this was about a girl who volunteers to become this guy's queen because he had killed her cousin who was his previous queen, because at every single dawn he kills his queen, then the next day gets a new one, kills her, gets a new one, kills her, so on and so forth. So I knew going into this book that there was going to be like a love something between the king and our main character Shahrazad, and I told myself that I was not going to like them as a couple, but I do, which kind of sucks, because I know that he, like, in the beginning I know he's not a bad guy, or he's a bad guy, but then we're, like, learning things about him, and he's just so swoon, and I don't know, I'm falling in love with the couple, and the plot, and the writing style. Oh my god, the writing style is just to die for. Renee Ahdieh has a beautiful writing style. She has these such descriptive words that just make my imagination go wild. It's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. I'm loving this so far. I'm really excited to find out how it ends. I'm actually recording this a couple days before the end of the month because I am leaving for the weekend for Halloween, so I might already be finished with this, but I'm expecting to really, really enjoy this, you guys. I cannot wait to finish this. I honestly really want to finish this tonight and try to get as much read as I possibly can, but yes, I am highly enjoying this series. Let me know what you guys thought of this book duology in the comments below, because I'm really excited to find out your guys' thoughts if you loved it as much as I am loving it so far. Please do not forget to give this video a huge thumb up and subscribe if you liked what you saw. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys have read this month. What was your favorite book that you read? And I'll see you in my next video. Bye! So as you guys know, I usually do weekly